distant vista there lies a courtyard of Italian marble and ancient pedestals. It is there a boy awaits his mother, seated on a warm wooden bench. She pays for pomegranates purchased from a street vendor and regards him from across the way, smiling a lustrous smile which warms his slight heart. She approaches him and swoops low as a swan landing on water, and whispers, "Do you know that you are my angel?" And she kisses his silk-dimpled smile. Later that night she is heard faintly crying. She is again alone in her bedroom. Slow and apprehensive, the boy steps to the doorway to see her there, wrapped in a ball of her bedsheets, sitting up and staring forward like a yellow leopard on a branch. "Mummy?" he whispers, and she turns her head as if someone has clapped, and creases her lips and beckons him to her bed. "My angel, my boy, my own." And she wraps him inside of these sheets of her own making, and he earns her love. Little years pass like the beating of whitened wings. One dark and heated night he hears her railing at a figure outside their front door. She enters the home and slams the door shut, and the boy, awakened, rubs dust from his eyes and appears at the top of the stairs. She is stumbling and unable to still herself without sway, like a tree that cannot stand the wind, and he calls to her. She flashes eyes as red as her dress and stammers, "What are you doing out of bed? Get back in your room. Get out of my sight." And the boy, taken aback and confused, thinks, "But I'm here for you, Mummy. I'm here to make it better. I'm right here." But all that he can think to do is get a drink of water. And this, along with his fear, he swallows down deep. When the man, now a man, looks closely enough, he can still make out the only remaining word, where the car paint is still discolored from that day. 2 years and 2 months from the wedding, and the wax crayon scar written from the best man's hand still remains. Just. He sees his reflection in the wet window, and he believes he can still see the bequeathed brilliant white angel wings glowing from his back. He enters the house, his chest humming, whirring, a feeling he has learned to ignore, and he looks at the woman on the couch, staring forward, mask-like at the television, and he calls to her. A smile crosses her face, and she asks him to sit with her, console her, quiet her, and his wife hands him the gnarled and knotted sheets that she has been busily binding, and carefully, patiently, he unfurls the knots, one by one, for her love. But every so often, now alone in the murky hours of sleeplessness, he realizes that he is thirsting for something beyond this quiet dancing, longing for a rhythm that keeps time with his own heart, and not just hers. And he rises from the bed in a fog. The woman awakens and begs him to come back to the warmth of their bed. "I need a drink of water," he mutters, and suddenly she sees within his eyes 100 highways. "Come back to the bed, my love," she coos. And he feels her pull like a line from a play that he has reread 1,000 times over. He stands at the window and craves so deeply to fly. He is dying to fly. Flying this time for himself, or is it towards some other, darker self? And he realizes he has no magics, no course, and he softly cries like a boy long abandoned on a bench in a distant vista. And his dreams are slowly devoured by his mind, and the swallowed capsule of burning fear dissolves, fresh in his gut. The woman, who does love him, as he has always asked her to love him, gently hands him her knotted sheets of practiced ties. But this time, he does not work to undo them. This time, he ties one end to the bedpost and throws the other, like a rope, outside the window. And with this begins his long descent. And when he reaches the ground, he walks, for he does not know how to fly, toward a horizon. This horizon of his own making.